Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. The Bloodline saga features another powerful figure besides the tribal chief, according to WWE legend. The Bloodline storyline has evolved with several layers since its inception in WWE. Recently, Hall of Famer Mark Henry suggested that beyond the influential position of the tribal chief, there's another powerful force driving this long-running saga. After defeating Jey Uso at Hell in a Cell 2020, Roman Reigns was bestowed with the Eula Fala by his father Sika and his uncle Afa of the legendary Wild Samoans. This ceremonial act signified the 39-year-old's ascension to the role of the tribal chief of the family. However, Solo Sikoa seized control of the Bloodline and became the new tribal chief after Reigns lost his undisputed WWE Universal Championship to Cody Rhodes at WrestleMania 40. On a recent edition of the Busted Open podcast, Mark Henry noted that a new High Chief will emerge in WWE, a role more powerful than that of a tribal chief. The veteran suggested that the current tribal chief might take a secondary role under this new leader, hinting that the street champion is unlikely to be the one to fill this position. The world's strongest man further stated that The Rock would be a suitable candidate for this role if he returned to WWE for WrestleMania 41, as his grandfather, Peter Maivia, was the last wrestler to hold the title of High Chief. At the 2024 Crown Jewel, the OTC and the Uso faced off against Sikoa, Jacob Fatu, and Tama Tonga. The two sides collided in a six-man tag team match. In a shocking turn of events at the premium live event in Saudi Arabia, the street champion pinned Roman Reigns, and the new Bloodline triumphed over the OG Bloodline. Following the match, Solo Sikoa and his group assaulted Reigns, Jimmy Uso, and Jey Uso, before Sami Zayn came to the aid of the babyfaces. However, when the OG Bloodline had Sikoa surrounded, the master strategist accidentally hit the OTC with a Helluva kick. The Bloodline saga has been one of the most compelling storylines in WWE history, centered around Roman Reigns as the tribal chief, an unstoppable champion who commands respect and authority over his family. However, as the storyline has developed, one WWE legend has hinted that there may be another powerful figure within the Bloodline's ranks who could rival even Reigns' commanding presence. This mysterious presence, though not wielding the championship or taking the main spotlight, holds a unique and growing influence within the family. A force that may come to shape the future of the Bloodline in ways fans might not expect. When Solo Sikoa joined the Bloodline, many believed he was merely an enforcer, a silent powerhouse who would stand in Reigns' shadow and provide muscle when needed. But Solo's presence in the Bloodline has proven to be much more complex and intriguing than fans first imagined. The youngest member of the family, Sikoa possesses a unique blend of ruthless aggression and quiet loyalty that makes him both feared and respected. The legend's comments suggest that Sikoa's role could be even more impactful than it appears, indicating that his power isn't simply physical but rooted in a mysterious authority of his own. For months, WWE has subtly hinted at Solo's potential to step out from under Roman's leadership and forge his own path. His body language, silence, and sharp intensity hint at a character with ambitions he hasn't yet expressed openly. Unlike the Usos, who were always vocal about their loyalty to Roman or, more recently, their struggles with that loyalty, Solo has remained enigmatically neutral. This neutrality is part of what makes him so powerful. He's unreadable, and this unpredictability could spell trouble for Reigns if tensions within the Bloodline continue to grow. Roman Reigns, known for his imposing speeches, his ability to intimidate, and his knack for getting under the skin of his opponents, often exerts control through verbal and psychological tactics. Yet Solo Sikoa represents a different kind of authority, a quiet, almost primal strength that doesn't rely on words. WWE legend Rikishi, a Bloodline patriarch and a seasoned wrestling icon, recently commented on how Solo's silence and unwavering dedication make him one of the most powerful members in the family. According to Rikishi, there's power in Solo's silence. He doesn't need to say much to command respect, and that's something Roman himself respects, and perhaps even fears. This insight adds a layer of depth to Solo's character and hints at an internal struggle for dominance within the bloodline. Roman has always been the loud, declarative leader, while Solo's strength lies in his willingness to let his actions speak for him. This quiet authority creates an intriguing dynamic between the two, suggesting that Solo's loyalty is not necessarily subservient. Rather, it's based on a mutual understanding of power. As fans watch the story unfold, the tension between Solo and Roman has become increasingly palpable. Solo's expressions and body language often speak volumes. Whether it's a subtle eye roll or a defiant stance, he exudes a silent challenge to Roman's authority. While Reigns has leaned into his role as the tribal chief with grand gestures and absolute control, Solo's more restrained, disciplined demeanor hints at a different philosophy of leadership, one that prioritizes respect over fear. This contrast has already led to friction in the bloodline, with Solo often acting as a balancing force between Roman and the Usos. When Jimmy and G began questioning Roman's authority, Solo didn't immediately follow suit. Instead, he maintained a careful balance, showing respect to Roman, but also empathizing with his brothers. WWE's creative team has used these moments to showcase Solo's potential to hold sway over the bloodline, positioning him as a figure who could potentially rival or even replace Roman as the family's leader. The Bloodline storyline is more than just a wrestling narrative. It's a tribute to Samoan culture, family honor, and legacy. For generations, the Anoni family has been a dominant force in professional wrestling, with Rikishi, Yokozuna, The Rock, and many others establishing their place in WWE history. Roman's position as the tribal chief represents not just a storyline character, but a continuation of his family's legacy. However, Solo's silent authority taps into a different aspect of this legacy. As Rikishi noted, the Anoni family has always respected those who lead by example, valuing actions over words. Solo's presence resonates with this tradition, his character drawing on the quiet strength of his ancestors. This quality is what makes him such a formidable presence within the bloodline, potentially even more so than Roman himself. In this respect, Solo embodies the cultural essence of his family's heritage, providing WWE fans with a character that is steeped in the values and spirit of the Anoni Legacy. For months, fans have speculated about the future of the bloodline and whether Solo might eventually challenge Roman's leadership. If WWE chooses to go down this route, it would mark one of the most compelling power struggles in recent wrestling history. A clash between two men who represent different philosophies of strength and leadership. While Roman relies on his championship and his dominance to maintain control, Solo's strength comes from an intrinsic authority that doesn't require validation. WWE could craft a storyline where Solo's rising power and influence threaten Roman's control, leading to a dramatic showdown between the two. This battle wouldn't just be about the Universal Championship. It would represent a deeper conflict about what it means to be the true tribal chief. If tensions between Roman and Solo continue to escalate, the Usos will inevitably be forced to take sides. Jimmy and G have already shown that they're willing to defy Roman's authority when they feel he's crossed a line. But Solo's authority is different. The Usos respect Solo's silence and strength, and they may see in him a leader who represents the true values of their family. The dynamic between the brothers has always been complex, but if WWE explores this storyline further, the family could fracture in ways that add even more drama to the bloodline's narrative. The Usos may decide that Solo's vision for the family aligns more with their values than Roman's more domineering approach, leading to a split that could change WWE's landscape entirely. The Bloodline saga has been a slow burn, with WWE taking its time to develop each layer of the storyline. If WWE plans to have Solo eventually challenge Roman, WrestleMania would be the ultimate stage for their confrontation. Imagine the spectacle. Roman Reigns, the tribal chief who has dominated WWE for years, facing Solo Sikoa, his silent, powerful enforcer, in a match that determines the true leader of the bloodline. This match could have far-reaching implications, not only within WWE but also in the world of professional wrestling as a whole. It would symbolize the clash between two different eras, philosophies, and representations of family honor. The result would be a story of betrayal, loyalty, and ultimately, the strength of family bonds tested by ambition. Regardless of whether WWE decides to fully explore Solo's potential as a rival to Roman, it's clear that Solo's character holds a unique power in the Bloodline. His silent authority, cultural authenticity, and understated charisma make him an invaluable part of the storyline. His presence challenges Roman in ways that could reshape the entire faction and potentially lead to one of the most epic betrayals in WWE history. The Bloodline saga is far from over, and as the legend hinted, there's another powerful figure within its ranks. Whether Solo ultimately challenges Roman's reign or remains a steady, enigmatic force, his character represents a fascinating new direction for WWE. With WrestleMania on the horizon, fans are left wondering whether Solo's quiet strength will be the force that finally brings Roman's empire to its knees, reshaping the legacy of the Bloodline and setting a new standard for family, loyalty, and power in WWE.